Welcome to the BeYoutiful Hour. I'm Nicola. Today's special guest is Darlene Jeter, and she has a self-service practice that empowers and inspires women in making the right decisions in relationships. She also has a self-love movement known as Choosing Mr. Wrong. Darlene is also an author of 2 books. So glad to have you here to speak with us about dating, self-love, and finding love, right?
Yes.
That's what you do.
Absolutely.
There are so many of us women who want love. We want to find love, but we want the right relationships. You know, we want to be able to have affection in our relationships and trust in our relationships. And, you know, when those things are broken, it unfortunately affects our spirits, and that's where we lack the self-love. You have workshops that you have for choosing Mr. Wrong, and you have information that you put out through your workbook. Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit about
what it is that I do. Okay. So my name is Darlene Jeter, but I do go by DJ. And my coaching practice is coaching by DJ. My self-love movement is choosing Mr. Wrong. So what I work to do is to help women make better decisions in relationships. So whether you're choosing someone or whether you're already in a relationship and trying to determine if it's a good relationship for you or not. But what I do as far as self-love goes is I work to make sure that women understand how very special they are and how very unique they are, just as they are.
Right.
A lot of times what we focus on is the exterior. We focus on how we look, and we don't focus on what makes us special internally, our internal beauty, our inner beauty.
Yes.
So what I try to get women to do is think about that on a daily basis to reinforce how we feel about ourselves, because that also contributes to our confidence levels. And once you know and you recognize what's so very special about you, you're not really as willing to accept mediocrity.
Absolutely. Now, there are some things that we can do as women, such as speaking affirmations, speaking quotes to ourselves. What other type of techniques or self-love things can we do as women to boost our confidence, you know?
Okay, well, I have several activities that I usually work with my coaching clients on to build self-love. You talked about affirmations. That's absolutely true. I've already spoken about how we need to focus on how we feel about ourselves and what makes us special.
Right.
So the activities that I really focus on deal with that. Okay. What is really special about you? So I ask women often, give me 10 things that you love about yourself. It's hard for a lot of women to come up with 10 things that they love about themselves. So that's something that you can try at home. 10 things that you love about yourself. And just to really see how long will it take you to write down 10 things. If you can't write down 10 things quickly, then work at that.
Right.
Try to figure out, okay, well, if I can't get to 10, get to 5. Then go back and get to 10. And then get to 15, then get to 20. You should be able to, do many things that you love about yourself, both physically and internally.
Okay. And ladies, this will be a good challenge for you. Right now at this time, get out a piece of paper and a pen and come up with 10 things that you love about yourself and see how you really feel about yourself. Because like you said, it can be challenging when you really think about it.
Right. And then actually what this does too, in turn, if you can come up with those 10 things that you love about yourself, then it's easier for you to kind of position yourself when dating.
Right.
So it's like if someone asks you, so what is it that you like to do? Then you're able to answer those questions and answer them honestly and authentically because you've thought about it and you know what makes you special and what separates you from the next girl or what we may call the competition.
Right.
But we need to understand ourselves at the deepest level. We need to really be very self-aware so that we know what makes us special, but then also we know what we need to feel love, happiness, and satisfaction. And that's what I want to jump into just for a second. The self-awareness that I talk about and the self-love that I talk about helps women make better relationship decisions.
Okay.
Because when you understand who you are and you understand what you need, you can really go about making better decisions to get love,
Yes.
happiness, and satisfaction.
Yes. Now, Valentine's Day is coming up,
Yes.
and a lot of ladies are going to be feeling lonely or sad because they don't have that special relationship, you know, and they might make some bad decisions, you know, because we all make bad decisions when we just want to be loved or we want a relationship. Um, what do you think that a woman can do? What should she do in order to keep herself from making a bad decision? What is one thing that she can do?
Well, the one thing that she can do is focus on herself.
Mm.
That's the one thing that she can do. So Valentine's Day is only one day of
Right.
the year. So don't make a decision
Based on that.
based on this one day. Make a bad decision that will have you really feeling down in the dumps
Right.
many more days than just one day. So that's the first thing that I would just say. Just really focus on yourself. But what I would like to tell you though too is for Valentine's Day and for the month of February, what I'm actually getting ready to do is launch a self-love box.
Oh, awesome.
So this self-love box will include items that will give women an opportunity to really pamper themselves in the comfort of their home. And then it also includes coaching material. So I'm launching this box that you can receive no matter where you are in the country. If you're here locally in Cleveland, I'm going to have an event where you can come and pick the box up, and we're going to discuss some self-love at that event. But this is a perfect way. This is also a perfect way to show yourself some love.
So can you tell everybody, like, how do they find this self-love box?
Okay, well, what you can do is you can go to coachingbydj.com. There's a button right there on the site where you can sign up for the self-love box, and you'll absolutely get it in time for Valentine's Day.
Okay. You know, ladies, another thing that you can do is, and I do this myself, I write affirmations down and I post them. I look in the mirror and I speak them to myself. Like, that is so important to me, especially when I'm feeling down. And it doesn't have to be about a relationship. It could be about, you know, any situation. Maybe somebody I love is going through something, or, you know, and I want to be there for a person, you know, so I may just keep myself encouraged so that I can speak positive words and affirmations to other women.
Right. Well, it's very true. You've probably heard this before. You can't pour from an empty cup. So it's absolutely necessary for us to take care of ourselves first before we even try to reach out to anyone else. But with that said, you know, there are many other ways too to really try to, you know, keep a positive spirit. You know, keep a positive spirit when you're going through difficult times. One of those things is to, like, keep a gratitude journal. So that's something that I really have implemented for my life this year, for 2017. I keep a gratitude journal. So each morning when I wake up, while I'm still in the restroom, I write in my gratitude journal.
Okay.
So this is something every single morning. I wrote in it this morning. I'll write in it tomorrow morning. But what this does is it kind of shifts our mindset first thing. So the way that we kind of wake up, if you're not waking up positive because maybe you don't like your job, or, you know, maybe you got a difficult situation that you're in, you know, a way to kind of shift your mindset is to do something positive, to speak positive words, to write positive words. So a gratitude journal is something that maybe, you know, the ladies out there could maybe try to keep.
I want to share a quick story with you all. I had my grandbaby with me yesterday, and he seen a picture of me and a friend, and he said, Grand Diva. He calls me Grand Diva or Diva because I wasn't ready for the Nana, Grandma, okay. So he says, Grand Diva, who is that? I said, it's just a friend. And so he says, a friend? And I said, yes. He said, you need a husband. I said, I need a husband. Why do I need a husband? He said, you're nothing without a husband. Every girl needs a husband. And I just cracked up to myself because, you know, out of the mouth of babes, you know what I'm saying? When you think about the relationship of the man and the woman, you know, and how they together are powerful. And really, when he said you're nothing without a husband, really when it comes to relationships, one is not, I won't say nothing, but the compliment that they bring to each other,
Right.
the value, one, two is better than one. So and that's how I looked at it when he said you're nothing without a husband.
Right. Well, biblically speaking,
yes.
We are helpmates. So,
yes.
I kind of can see where the little fella is coming from.
I know.
You're nothing though. That's really funny. But yes, I believe in that, and I think that oftentimes what happens is, women get to a place where they haven't found someone, so they start acting like they don't need a man in their life. So they become this strong, independent woman. I don't need a man.
Yes.
And I absolutely.
You know how we do.
I absolutely, yeah. I absolutely speak against that type of mindset and even that type of behavior, because I just don't think that, it's going to result with anything good for you. So you can be absolutely independent, and you can be, financially stable and doing things really well for your career. And, for some women, maybe they don't want a relationship. Maybe they've gotten to the place in their lives where they've just given up because they've had so much disappointment.
Yes.
But what I will say is that this strong, independent phenomenon that has taken place, particularly with the African American female, is serving as a repellent to a lot of men. So what I'm saying is, if you think you're so strong and independent, you're actually pushing black men away from you, because he doesn't want to deal with that.
No.
When he comes into your life, he wants to feel like he's needed. He wants to feel like he can come in and kind of help out. So if you're acting like you don't need him, you don't want his help, then if you're acting that way, he's going to pick up on that. That's why I say it's a repellent.
Right.
And that's why sometimes, ladies, sometimes that's why you find yourself kind of single.
Right.
Because no man wants to be with a woman who is acting like she doesn't need him. Because, the male ego is fragile. He wants to be with a woman that makes him feel good about himself. So if you're walking around acting like you can do everything and be everything, then where does he fit in? So that's something for you to think about.
Where that question, it made me think about dating. And it made me think about how I had wrote out a list a long time ago. I don't have that list anymore of my what I was looking for. But, when it comes to dating, what type of advice do you give women for dating?
Well, I give the advice of preparing a list.
Okay.
I give that type of advice because, and for coaching, when I'm coaching a client, what we do is we sit down and we talk about what it is that you need. Okay? So the thing that I'm going to say about needs is, if your needs go unmet in a relationship, the relationship is going to fail.
Yes.
If your needs go unmet in a relationship, the relationship is going to fail. People don't understand that. They think that, if I have this need, maybe I'm being needy. Okay, well, maybe I can deal with this. Or maybe maybe you can deal with it, but you'll be unhappy. Okay. And what's the point of going through life being miserable?
Yes.
Okay, what's the purpose of going through life and you're in this relationship, but you never truly experience love?
Right.
What is the point of going through life and you're in this relationship with this person and you're not really satisfied? What is the point?
There is no point.
I don't think that there is.
Unless you just like misery, and misery
right,
or
you just want a man in your bed or something, or So to me, if we're going to really deal with our needs, then we should be working to try to get our needs met. We shouldn't. If we need quality time, then we need to communicate that. And then maybe not deal with the person who isn't trying to spend time with us. If a man enjoys your company, deal with that.
Right.
Don't deal with the guy who doesn't want to come see you when you know you need
time.
quality
You have to keep asking, and So ladies, I challenge you to, sit down and make a list out. Make a list out what you want in a man, what you don't want in a man. And then when you're dating, check back at your list. When you start seeing things check back at that list and make sure that it's not on your list or it is on your list.
Right, and then what I do say is don't have a crazy list. Get to about 6 things, 5 or 6 things that you absolutely need. And when I say need, make sure that it's at the very top of what makes you feel loved and happy and satisfied.
Yeah. I think we have to go back to how we used to look at our men, and not look at them as losers, or, not look at them in a negative way, the way they are portrayed, so that we can stop allowing the media to make the judgment call on what's acceptable or not. Because if you have a good man, or you see a man and he's good to you, he treats you like a queen, why does he have to drive a certain type of car, or have a certain type of home or anything like that? Like, look at your expectations when it comes to that. Like, are you on the same level that you're requesting, or are you below the level that you requested? I mean, and don't make it where you cancel out a person because maybe they don't make a certain amount that you require. But if it's a man that treats you good, I think that plays a part.
Well, it absolutely does. And see, and the one thing that I have to say about that is, the African American female is out earning in many cases, not all cases. The African American female is out earning the African American male.
Right.
So we have to kind of think about that holistically, and how that's impacting our community. So sometimes there may be a situation where a woman is making $100,000, and maybe the guy who's interested in her, he may be making 50. And then I'll even drop that down. So just say the woman is making 50 and the guy is making 25.
Yes.
So sometimes it's disproportionate. I do encourage women to kind of think about what money really means to them.
Yes.
Because a lot of times we place a lot of value on money, but not enough on our happiness and what really, again, brings about happiness for us. But I do not try to tell people that money isn't important.
Because it is.
Because it is important. And for some women, it's even more important.
Right.
And those gift givers, like what I said, is some women receive love based on the 5 love languages, by receiving gifts and by men doing things for them. So for that particular type of woman, that's how she receives love.
Right.
So she probably is not going to probably deal with someone who makes less than her.
Right. And if that's what she doesn't, if that isn't what she wants, then she shouldn't.
Right.
But if she's with a man who makes the amount of money that she likes, but she's getting mistreated, then she needs to reevaluate.
Well, absolutely, because there's no need to be with a man who makes a whole bunch of money and he treats you like garbage.
Absolutely.
That makes no sense. But then it doesn't make sense to be with someone who isn't making anything and he treats you like the queen. You know what I mean? So there needs to be some type of balance, but we need to consider how we feel about money when we get into those types of situations. Because it's easier to like go to a girlfriend and she tells you, girl, no, leave him alone. Because no, we have to really sit alone. Again, I believe in self-reflection. So we need to sit alone and really think about like, what does money really do for me? Is money just to pay my bills, or is money for status, or what does money really do for me? And once you recognize what it really does for you, then you can come to your decision and come to the proper decision for you.
Well, you make so many valid points, and ladies, please, you need to visit Darlene's website. Please give them the information, because you know what, she speaks not only to us as women, but she also speaks to teens and with self-motivation and all of that. And these are the things that we really need to be passing down to our daughters.
Right. And then I do an event called Cupcakes and Conversation, but I also do mini Cupcakes and Conversation. And during those events, that's when I speak to teen girls, usually like 12 to about 16.
Okay.
But I think that getting to younger girls is really key, because then they won't make those mistakes. Like I think a lot of times if someone had kind of poured into me some of the stuff that I'm trying to pour into the young girls that I meet, then maybe, I'm not sure if I would have still made some of the silly mistakes that I made. But, I'm thinking that I would have been more knowledgeable, and maybe I would have been able to recognize some of the things that were not good for me when I was in it. It's only after I kind of like got out of it as a younger woman and kind of look back like I didn't see this. So I kind of think that if I reach these younger girls and kind of prepare them in advance, then they'll understand, when they're in a good relationship or a bad relationship. But just go to coachingbydj.com, and there's information on my site about the Cupcakes and Conversation, and then also about the coaching services that I provide.
Thank you. Appreciate you being here. Thanks so much. And I hope that, the information that we share will most definitely be some good information for everyone.
I hope so too.
Ruth waited for her Boaz. She wouldn't just settle for anybody. The Bible said Boaz was a handsome man, a rich man, a spiritual man, a sensitive man, and that equals a husband. You gotta wait. You gotta wait on your Boaz. Don't just settle. But if you're not careful, when you go left and it's Friday night and you don't have a date and you're freaking out. I don't have a date. I didn't get married until I was 25. Boaz is spelled B-O-A-Z. Everybody say B-O-A-Z. And so he's got some relatives called broke ass, po ass, lying ass, cheating ass, dumb ass, drunk ass. Don't go out with him. Cheap ass. Turn to somebody and say, I dated him. Locked up ass, good for nothing ass, lazy ass, and especially his third cousin, Beating Yo Azz. Wait on your Boaz and make sure he respects your ass. Now there's your word. You wanted a word?